Hello and welcome to 5 at 5, the last show for 2025. It's been a fascinating year for global sport, for Indian sport, and us at Rev Sports as well. We have done our recaps. We've talked about a lot for 2025. We've done our stories. We've done Olympic sport. We've done our cricket. We've done practically everything. Looked at the five moments. Looked at the top stories, the heartbreaks, and all of that stuff. Our team has also done that. So, what I will do in this particular show is look ahead because 2026 is unprecedented. I don't think in my 25, 30 years of sport, covering sport, writing about sport, talking about sport, I don't think I've seen a year as crazy as 2026 when it comes to sport. And I will also, what I will do is over the next 35, 40 minutes, like I do, we will also discuss with you all, whoever is watching, what events you want covered, what events you want covered from on ground, because what we are actually doing over the last several days, in fact, we are actually making our plans for 2026, where we will be sending our team, our reporters, our plans, our grid. And today also, in fact, in the last couple of hours, after visiting our studio, so I had to sort of meet the architect and have a meeting there. And then we sat down with the grid for 2026. As I said, massive year for sport. First, let's start with cricket. It starts crazily with January. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli making a comeback once again to international cricket with the New Zealand series after a month. We saw what they did against South Africa. Each time the duo plays, they will kind of attract attention. So Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli for the New Zealand series, and then the entire focus shifts to the T20, leading into the T20 World Cup. Absolutely, we will send our people to cover whether it is the ODIs, whether it is the T20 World Cup. Already a lot of questions. How are you? I'm good. Gill, highest run getter 2025. Hockey you should cover, one off. बोरियादा स्टूडियो कब लॉन्च कर रहे हैं? मार्च में लॉन्च करेंगे प्रियांशु. 15th of March सॉफ्ट लॉन्च होगा. करीब जून से आफ्टर आई कम बैक. जून से नहीं होगा बिकॉज मैं इंग्लैंड में रहूंगा बिटवीन मार्च एंड अर्ली अगस्त. सो वंस आई एम बैक द मिडल ऑफ द ईयर आफ्टर द कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, फुल फ्लेजेड ऑपरेशन स्टूडियो में मूव कर जाएगा. When will we get to see the new studio? You will on the 15th of March, which is when the launch will happen. Some programming will move on the 15th of March itself. So early IPL programming will be from the studio. A lot of IPL programming will be from the studio, and then full-fledged move will be around after I come back, because June, July will be in England. So after that. Having said that, okay. So as I said, coming back to cricket, we'll keep taking questions. 2026 T20 World Cup is in February. So first 2 months, massive as far as cricket is concerned. Starts with Virat and Rohit and the ODIs, and then moves on to the T20s against New Zealand, the final bit of warm-up, and then the World Cup on home soil. The World Cup for India starts in earnest with the warm-up game against South Africa, and thereafter in Mumbai, and thereafter on the 7th, USA, 12th, Namibia, 15th, Pakistan, 18th, Netherlands, 22nd, Super 8s, 26th, Super 8, and it continues till the 8th of March, which is when the final is. So obviously will be a massive tournament. Side by side, WPL, starts early January. WPL starts early January, will continue till late January. After the Women's World Cup win, the interest in the WPL will be at its maximum. And thereafter, in February, the women's team tours Australia. The women's team will be touring Australia in February, which will be an important tour, because if you keep in mind the Women's World Cup, which is in the middle of the year, it will be an important tour of sorts. So, in that sense, it will be an important year of sorts. So, massive start. I mean, let me keep taking questions, otherwise I'll miss it. Iyer out of the New Zealand series. If he doesn't, yes, play Vijay Hazare. That is the truth. Women's T20 World Cup after the IPL. I'm coming to that, Shashwat Singh. I will go month by month. That is exactly what I'm doing. By any way, we can see Rev Sports collaborating with any television sports channels or news broadcasting channel. What for? we are the best. Why should we give our content to anyone else, you reckon? But we will. We will collaborate with NDTV for our conclave, because there is a partnership. I've got a position with NDTV. They are investing seriously in sport, very keen. Rahul Kaval and I have had multiple conversations. We will collaborate very closely for the conclave. We will collaborate in a personal capacity during the T20 World Cup and all events. I will do a lot of work for NDTV as well. So will Rev Sports. So there will be a lot of collaboration. Other sports channels? No, absolutely not. Because the kind of in-depth coverage that you will see on Rev Sports right through the year, I don't think any other platform will even come close. That's what I'm giving you. So like I said, so the Women's Premier League will be March, and then the Women's Tour of Australia in February. March is fascinating. The Men's T20 World Cup climaxes. March is also the period when the Indian women's football team will play the AFC in Australia. So the matches are in Perth and Sydney. We are trying to explore opportunities of trying to cover that as well from on ground. So we will keep you posted for that. Needless to say, the Virat Rohit Tour, needless to say, the WPL, needless to say, the women's, as I said, Trisha and Snehashish for the WPL from start to finish. The World Cup, the Men's T20 World Cup, our coverage will be massive. Then coming to March, after the T20 World Cup ends, is our own conclave. And our own conclave will be absolutely massive this year. 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th of March, with 15th of March being our studio launch. So we are talking about 14th, 16th, and 17th of March for Trailblazers 4.2. 30 plus athletes in Calcutta under one roof. Everybody has done, our all stars have done fantastic for Indian sport. All A-lister athletes, discussion and engagement between cricket and non-cricket, Olympic and Paralympic sport, policymakers, corporates, athletes, administrators, everybody coming under one roof. This year, Trailblazers 4.0 will be absolutely massive. 14th, 16th, and 17th of March. Thereafter, interesting, once our conclave is done, the IPL is expected to start around the 24th, 25th, 26th of March. Also, the candidates will start in Cyprus on the 28th of March. And Pragyananda has already qualified for the candidates. We will send our reporters to the candidates as well. So to cover chess from on ground, Atreya Mukhopadhyay will possibly look to do, will not possibly, Atreya will go to the candidates as well. Let me take more questions. Loads of questions already starting, which is good to see. IR out, can India defend the title at home with this squad? Yes, they can. It is a very good team. Rev Sports do revenue and sustain. Is YouTube broadcasting sustainable for the purpose? It never was relevant. Because see, I've done a piece, Aryan Paul 9259 today, and I've actually explained this. And this was a question of self-doubt. You asked an important question, Aryan. Let me explain the business and you will understand this. Now, if you want to do multi-sport, right, which is what the purpose of Rev Sports has been from day one. Now, let me give you one example and you'll understand, which India's highest Olympics moment. Now, if I ask you what is India's highest Olympics moment, everybody will say Neeraj Chopra's gold or Abhinav Bindra's gold. One of the two, right? 2 Olympic gold medals, Neeraj Chopra's gold or Abhinav Bindra's gold. Now, if you take Neeraj Chopra's gold, more recent. Now, if you compare that with a normal IPL game, you will see the viewership for a normal IPL game is more. Now, does that mean that the Neeraj Chopra gold medal is any less? Does that mean that any Olympic medal, whether it's Swapnil Kusale, whether it is Manu Bhakar, whether it is anybody, Neeraj Chopra himself, for that matter, anyone, any of the 6 Olympic medals that you won, or the Vinesh Fogart controversy, or any tournament of that scale, Satwik Chirag, in a world championship, is that any less? The answer is no, right? At the same time, if you are dependent on numbers, if you are dependent on social media numbers, do you think you will get any kind of numbers with the Paralympic World Championship? Do you think the Indian sporting public is mature enough? Do you think, suppose I do a show on Gautam Gambhir and Shubman Gill. Now, obviously, it is expected that, look at our numbers during the Asia Cup, 18 million views in 1 month. Will you get that kind of numbers when you do Olympic and Paralympic sport? You won't. So you cannot ever be dependent on social media numbers. It is not even relevant for us. Was never relevant. Now the point is, Interesting, because when you think of social media numbers, people don't know that, look, and that's the conventional accepted paradigm that, oh, you know what, social media numbers. The moment you have the caliber to do quality programming, to do multi-sport, people don't know multi-sport. Third, it is about you to go and sell it. So, like yourself, you are interested in multi-sport, which is why you asked me this question. Now, in my case, I have the ability to do multi-sport. My team has. We are actively sort of teaching, educating the team, pushing them to study multi-sport and learn multi-sport and research on multi-sport. We've reached out to multiple brands. Do you know how many brands that there are supporting us at this point in time? 25. 25 credible brands backing Rev Sports plus investors. Now, that is the kind of support we have for multi-sport. So if somebody comes and says, oh, you know what, Paralympic sport, no support. Who says so? Have you reached out? No support for chess, no support for boxing, no support for Asian Para Games, no support for hockey, no support for Women's World Cup. Who has said this? I can tell you, take Tata Steel. Mr. Narendra, the global CEO and MD of Tata Steel, himself has kind of supported DB Sundaramam, head of corporate services, Tata Steel. These are people who have already committed support to us for the Women's World Cup, already committed support to us for the Asian Games and Para Games. Jude Gomes, Aegis Federal Life Insurance, have committed support to us for Backstage with Boria right through the year, diverse sports. So that's the kind of support we have. We know there are takers. We know there are corporates who are serious about sport. It is on you to evolve your business strategy and make yourself relevant and try and do multi-sport. Take that courage, go out, seek brands, get investors, sell your product. We've been able to do that on Rev Sports, and make no mistake, we will keep growing. We will keep growing. Okay, plenty of questions. Sorry, boss, let's go up again. Oh boy. We are looking forward to Rev bringing more and more interviews of various athletes this year. Shashwat Singh, 100%. Have you seen the hockey one today with Gauthier Bokar, James Carr, and Valentin, the coach of the Shrachi Rar Tigers? International athletes plying their trade in the Hockey India League. That is the kind of diversity you will see. Mohammad Raihan, Boriada, can you see Virat Rohit both playing in the 27 World Cup? At this point in time, the answer is yes. And a pretty overwhelming yes, unless injuries and stuff like that happens. Can India defend the title? I said like that. They've got a very good side. In Australia, New Year started when Indian time was 4:30 in Adelaide. Perth is behind this time zone. No, Adelaide is not. Adelaide is 5 hours. So it's not started yet. Auckland has started. No Australian city has started. Australia is 5 hours, 5.5. Melbourne, 5.5. Sydney, 5. Adelaide, 5. Perth is 3.5. Australia, it has not even started now. Auckland has started. New Zealand is 7+ hours, Anshu Mishra. Can you see Virat and Rohit? I've taken that. Baliganj House. Okay. Boriada, do you feel legends like Fabiano, Hikaru, Nepo, Levon robbed of multiple world champions because of once in a freak Magnus Carlsen? 100%. And Magnus is an absolute freak. I mean, at times I think he's as big as the game. Someone like Magnus doesn't come too often. Someone like Magnus, I think he's the all-time greatest player. Maybe a Gary Kasparov at his absolute peak will come close. Otherwise, I don't see anybody who is as good as Magnus Carlsen in the world of chess. 100%. That's a very fair comment, Indian supporter. Okay, coming back, like we were in March. And like I said, so what is the grid so far? And by the way, you guys can hold me to it. So I've said WPL. I've said the men's IPL. I've said the men's World T20. I've said the chess candidates. I've said the Virat Rohit ODI series New Zealand. I've said the New Zealand T20s as well. So 6 events. I've also said about the women's football, the AFC in Australia. We are trying to figure out how we can cover that in detail from on ground. Coverage will anyway happen. Coverage is not the question here. I'm talking about coverage from on ground. So you can hold me to how many events we send people to on ground, including international destinations. So when I say candidates is in Cyprus. And that's where I'm telling you, Atro will possibly go to Cyprus. Not possibly, will go to Cyprus if everything goes well to cover it from Cyprus. That's the whole commitment that I've said to myself, that I want to grow my people to contribute to the Indian sporting ecosystem in a manner that we will be able to create legacy. What's April, May? April, May obviously is IPL. April, May, that's the kind of big tournament. In cricket is the IPL. In May is the Diamond League. In May, the Diamond League starts in Doha, and absolutely we will be there. The Diamond League starts in Doha. Neeraj Chopra will want to kind of start the year well. Did not finish with the injury during the World Championship. So that's another massive tournament, the start of the Diamond League. And thereafter, the world kind of totally becomes a sporting year. So from May to August, or rather end of September, May to October, May, June, July, August, September, October, these 6 months, it is absolutely mad. It is absolutely mad. May 28th is when the Indian women's team will travel to the UK to start their series for the preparation of the World Cup. Obviously, we will be there. We will be there tracking the women's team from the very start of their campaign in the UK. From the 12th of June is the Women's World Cup in Birmingham. 14th is India's first game, Pakistan in Birmingham. We will have a strong team on ground in England covering the World Cup from on ground. Not Trisha Snehashish, obviously, there will be more people. I will want to do it myself as well. So I will join Trisha and Snehashish. Shormishta will be there. There will be more people. We will try and bring you maximum, like the way we did the Indians men's tour of the UK. We will try and do the Women's World Cup in a very similar way. So the Diamond League, the Women's World Cup, the Indian Women's Tour of the UK, all of it will be covered from on ground. Now June, FIFA World Cup, massive, absolutely massive. The time zones are a problem. That might be impacting India's broadcast a little bit. So we have to see how we do it. But the idea is to do the FIFA World Cup in a really big way. The idea is to do the FIFA World Cup in a really big way from the United States. So that's on one side, right? So we've done up to June. So we've done the FIFA World Cup. We've talked about the women's tour of England, and we've also talked about the Women's World Cup. Now, as the Women's World Cup nears the end, Women's World Cup will end on the 5th of July at Lord's. The Indian men's team is expected to travel to the UK around the last week of June because they start their tour on the 1st of July up to the 19th of July. ODIs and T20s. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli will be playing, hopefully, that particular tour. So that will be another very, very big tour. Very big tour, lots of interest. Summer in the UK, always massive. White ball cricket, there will be takers. The World Cup will be just about a year away. Rohit and Virat will bring a lot of fans, thousands and thousands of fans to the stadium. So we will be there in big numbers. So let me once again. So I've come to the end of June. Let me take questions again. Okay. Where did I come? Lots of questions. Yeah, I've answered this up to Indian supporter, up to chess. What should be the Indian squad against New Zealand? I think Shubhayan will do a story on this Baliganj house tomorrow. He will do a story on this, on whether you can expect any surprises as part of the Indian team for New Zealand. Sasural gained a fool. Boryada, do you think still market for Olympic sports and it will grow? Come on. Olympic sports, it has just about started. What do you mean there is a market? If India hosts the Olympic Games, if India is hosting the Commonwealth Games, it will not grow multifold, it will grow exponentially 20-fold. With the inclusion of cricket in the 2028 Olympic Games, the broadcast revenue will increase 20 times. LA will be massive. Have India host the Olympic Games and the bid will happen in 2028-9 possibly, it will be unprecedented, the kind of growth that you are seeing. So there's no question. Has it become stagnant? It's not even started. You have not even seen the real peak, the real momentum of Olympic sports in India. So where's the question of it being stagnant at all? Has a multi-sports ideology? Please enter into esports. Very, very good point, Aryan Paul. Very, very good point about esports. There is a whole world out there, and you're absolutely correct. I'd actually done a conference on esports in Oxford where my friend Andy Mia and some of the best exponents on academically on the subject had come and spoken about it as well. But I absolutely buy your point about getting into the esports domain. Which of the three records toughest to break? 99.94 average will never be broken. Messi can still be broken. Phelps, I don't think can be broken. I will also add Jan Zelezny's javelin record, which I don't think can be broken. These are real tough records. Donald Bradman will never be broken by anybody. Which mad person will be able to score at 100? 91 goals can still happen. Phelps, 20 plus medals at the Olympic Games doesn't happen. Add Jan Zelezny. I mean, who will throw close to 100 meters? Not happening at all. I've answered that Olympic sports one. Indian squad I've answered. Thoughts on Barcelona's poster boy Lamine Yamal. The ideal scenario: finals, Argentina versus Spain. Lionel Messi passes on the baton to Lamine Yamal. That's the ideal scenario for me as far as the FIFA World Cup is concerned. Uh, Three records I've answered that. Snehashish and Trisha were excellent throughout the Women's World Cup. Debayon Mojumdar, they made it look really exciting and interesting. Thank you very much. They are very, very hardworking reporters. Trisha has just come back from Trivandrum today. Both of them will get enormous number of opportunities. Trisha is also, the head of production for us. She's kind of multitasking. Snehashish has improved a lot. As I said, they will do the WPL. They will do the Women's Tour of Australia. They will do the India tour of the UK. They will do the Women's World Cup in a very, very big way. The Women's World Cup will be one of our prime tournaments where you will see a lot of people travel as well as the men's tour of the UK in July, where Rohit and Virat will play. Can't believe another FIFA World Cup on the cards. Messi lifted the World Cup last year. Yeah, I mean, time flies. Just the other day in Qatar, I was actually there in Qatar for a few games. And then I had that virus, which, I had to take steroids for it, had to come back. But it just seems the other day, the Argentina fans were breaking down the whole stadium. Best player of 2025 in India. Which sport? Which sport are you talking about? If you are talking about the Indian sportsperson of the year, that's a very tough one. You would have to say the women's team will be the women's team of the year. Sportsperson of the year is a real tough one. Satwik Chirag can lay claim. Women cricketers can lay claim. Divya Deshmukh can lay claim. Multiple people can lay claim to being women. Suruchinder Singh, Samrat Rana among the youngsters, trailblazer of the year can be Samrat Rana. Plenty. We are seeing a lot of young people, young talent come through the ranks. Should RCB be allowed a replacement? Elise Perry? Yes. Yes, that's a very, very good question. More importantly, Indian supporter, what about Pooja Vastrakar? If Pooja Vastrakar is not there, then RCB loses Elise Perry, RCB loses Pooja Vastrakar, and that will become a massive blow for them. Best player, I've answered that, Mohammad Raihan. India squad, I've answered that. Anshu Mishra, I've answered that. Winning the FIFA World Cup, Ripon Ghosh, Spain, definitely favorites. France has a very good side. Argentina has a very good side. Impossible to predict who wins, but any of these teams have a very, very good side. Making Pant so underrated batsman, I can't understand. I've not once said, who has said Pant is an underrated batsman? Pant is a red ball great. If you see the kind of impact Rishabh Pant has had as a wicketkeeper batter, he qualifies to be a red ball great. Look at the efforts in England. Look at the efforts in Australia. Look at the efforts in South Africa. Absolutely not. He's a red ball great. You can say that in white ball cricket, he has not done justice to his talent so far. But come red ball cricket, Rishabh Pant is an absolute champion. India not playing 5-match ODI series after T20 World Cup 26, because economically, as long as ROCO are playing, it will be full house. You're right. You're absolutely right. I think in 27, you will see that, because the more the 27 50-over World Cup comes near, you will see a flip. You will see T20 matches and 50-over matches getting flipped, and you will see a lot of ODI matches being played. Okay. I think India was exceptional against England in the test series. So peak test cricket. Absolutely correct, Baliganj House. That for me is the highlight of this year as far as test cricket is concerned. Otherwise, 2 days, 3 days, 2.5 days. Ashes, 12 days for 4 test matches. It's been pretty poor. It's a very ordinary Ashes series. India versus England was the high point of test match cricket this year. I think we've just too many cricket YouTube channels. On the other hand, very few are covering Olympic sports. Do you see many news channels covering Olympic sports in the coming years? No, I don't, because they don't understand. Olympic sports is not everybody's cup of tea. Cricket is an easy thing to cover. Very easy thing to cover. You turn up in a stadium, you look at everybody in India, more or less follows the sports. Come and explain shooting to me. Come and explain boxing to me. Come and explain archery to me. Come and explain compound and recurve to me. Come and explain the difference between compound and recurve. Explain squash to me. Come and explain the nuances of shooting shotgun, pistol and trap and rifle. You will not be able to do that. Badminton, how many sports do you know really well? That is the problem, and I don't think anybody, any other platform in India, even half as close, because we have been putting in years and years and years of work into doing Olympic sport. I think it's not easy for anyone to catch up like that. And it's not easy. Paralympic sport, Tell me how many people know the classifications, how the classifications are done, what are the classifications, how a particular athlete is classified in a particular category. You should ask these questions and then you will know the answer to your question. India's number 3 in Test cricket going forward is a very critical one and a very good question. We will see what happens to that. But at this point in time, Sai, Washington, all of these people, they have been tried out, but nobody has cemented their position in the number 3 this thing. Will Bangladesh tour happen? Very difficult to say. Very difficult to say, Ripon Ghosh. At this point in time, the kind of political uncertainty we are seeing in Bangladesh, the answer is no. But one has to see how things evolve and what the situation is in the country around the middle of the year before one can answer this question. Do you see India sending the A team for cricket at the Asian Games? That involved in Olympic qualification for cricket. Olympics will be massive as far as cricket is concerned. You ask a cricketer, much like the tennis players, Roger Federer wanted an Olympic gold, got the one in doubles. Cricket will become like that. Imagine a Rishabh Pant or a Shubman Gill or a Surya Kumar Yadav or somebody like that, or a Hardik Pandya with a gold medal around their neck in LA. That could well be the highlight as far as the Indian contingent is concerned in 2020. It will be pretty massive, right? Should Harman pass ODI captaincy to Smriti or Jemmy in Australia? Good question. Good question. It is not about Harman passing. It's about the selectors deciding. Are you going to see Harman in the long term doing the captaincy for the next World Cup? Maybe not. In that case, would you want to change? In the short term, clearly Harman will captain the Indian team in England in the T20. So at that point, you are not seeing any captaincy change. Coming back to the rest of the schedule, I did up to June with you all. We were talking about the June India T20 World Cup for women. We also said the Indian men's team tour of the UK. There is, I've counted football in FIFA World Cup, obviously. June is massive. July, we also have the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Pretty significant in terms of, because next Commonwealth Games is in India. Curtailed games this year between 23rd of July and the 3rd of August in Glasgow. Again, we will be there in numbers. Important for some sports, whether it's athletics, whether it's some of these sports are of pretty high standard at the CWG. Will there be a Neeraj versus Arshad? We will have to wait and see the kind of sports, where India will kind of make a real splash. August as well, we have the Hockey World Cup. The Hockey World Cup, both for men and women. The men's team, they want to medal. We've heard I've done an interview with Hardik and Jarmanpreet, which you will see day after tomorrow. Fascinating interview with Hardik Singh and Jarmanpreet Singh. We've done an interview with Sukhjit and Abhishek Nayan, and so all of these players, Sukhjit and Abhishek Nayan and Jugraj, every Indian stalwart wants to medal at the World Cup. So August is the Hockey World Cup. Within a month, the Hockey World Cup is in Belgium and the Netherlands. Again, we will be there for the Hockey World Cup. And like I said, you can hold me to it. You can absolutely hold me to it that you had said that you will cover all of these events from on ground. September, another massive year. Massive year. Asian Games in Japan from the 19th, Nagoya, from the 19th to the 4th. And I'm actually predicting 100 plus medals again this year. Could be 100 plus. Shooting and athletics will give us between 40 and 45 medals. And we'll see what about the rest of the sports. Will Satwik Chirag be able to beat the Koreans and defend? The Liang Wang threat is also there. The Chia So threat is also there. So badminton will be fascinating to watch. Squash will be interesting. Hockey will be interesting because if you win the Hockey Asian Games gold medal, you will qualify directly for the Olympic Games. So Asian Games, according to me, is one of the most high-profile sporting events of the year. As far as shooting is concerned, massively important. Badminton, you will have, except the Danes, maybe a couple of others, you will see practically everybody turn up at the Asian Games. So the standard will be hugely high. So we will be there at the Asian Games in numbers. Then India tour in the middle, there is an India tour of Sri Lanka as far as WTC will be a dust bowl, and then an India tour of New Zealand, which will be massive for the Indian test team, red ball in October, November. If India does not do well in Sri Lanka, and if India does not do well in New Zealand in the red ball tour, it will be the end of India's WTC hopes. Again, we will be there on ground to cover both of these tours, whether it is Sri Lanka, whether it is New Zealand. So we've come now up to October. The India, so we've done, August is the Commonwealth Games, July, August. August is India tour of Sri Lanka as far as the men's team is concerned. September is the Asian Games in Japan in Nagoya. October is the Asian Para Games. I am expecting more than 110 medals in the Asian Para Games, and I don't know how many people will support disability sport in India. We will. We will have our people there at the Asian Para Games in Japan to back the Indian athletes and make a case, because disability and sensitivity are absolutely critical in terms of evolving a sports culture in India. So we will be there in backing the Asian Para Games. So that's October, and then the Indian teams tour of New Zealand for cricket. So we've come up to October, November. Let me take more questions. Buriana, will Bangladesh tour happen? I've answered that. Hopefully, there won't be any India Pak in Olympics cricket, as only one team will qualify from Asia. We've got to see. 6 teams is what we were told. We will see how things happen. India definitely, I'm sure, in the T20 format will qualify. We've got to see what really transpires over the next year or so. Should Harman pass on captaincy? We've seen that. Afghanistan squad in World Cup, it's a very good squad. It's a very good squad. It's a good team. It's a very good team, Afghanistan. If you see the number of spinners, subcontinental conditions, they will have that opportunity. A lot of their players now play the IPL. A lot of their players now play T20 leagues around the world. It is a very, very good side, Afghanistan. And Rashid's team will be important. Sasural Gendaful worries cricket will take away all the limelight from other sports. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, no cricket can ever take away limelight from an Olympic Games. An Olympic Games is an Olympic Games. Anybody who says cricket takes away the limelight is a fool. I mean, an Olympic Games, come on, a 100-meter dash, a swimming, an athletics, a Neeraj Chopra, a javelin, a badminton. That's the whole fun of an Olympic Games. Shooting. India promises to win at least 5-6 medals at the LA Games. Look at the level of talent, the depth of talent in Indian shooting, and you will know what I'm talking about. And if you say, no, I will only go and watch cricket in the Olympic Games, then you're myopic. You're not doing justice to a multidiscipline games like the Olympic Games at all. Because ICC organizes multinational tournaments, sanctity of that lost? No. I mean, this is a fair question, that you are seeing one cricket World Cup or the other, because ICC also has to run, right? I mean, there has to be a commercial angle to it. So there is either a Champions Trophy or a T20 World Cup or a WTC or a 50-over World Cup. At the same time, you want to see these multi-nation tournaments. Like, did you not see interest in the 50 overs? Did you not see interest in the Women's World Cup at home? Did you not see interest in the one that Rohit Sharma and his team won? Are you not going to watch the T20 World Cup on home soil? You will, right? So there is a lot of interest in these particular tournaments. So to say that because the ICC organizes, I understand where you're coming from. That there is there saturation. But I think these kind of multi-nation tournaments will never lose its relevance. And that's why bilateral cricket, whether it's T20, whether it's ODI, unless there is a World Cup round the corner, has lost relevance. And that's why Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are so very critical as far as bilateral cricket is concerned, because they put bums on seats, because they are so good. That is why they are so critical as brands for cricket to keep going. FIH Hockey World Cup, I told you, Shaurya Tiwari, Hockey World Cup 15th to the 30th in Belgium and Netherlands, we will send our people. I guarantee you that. It's already part of our grid. And we've done multiple interviews on the hockey. It's a massive year for hockey. The Hockey World Cup, and thereafter the Asian Games. So yes, Shaurya Tiwari, we will be there. Harmanpreet Kaur, clean sweep against New Zealand. Confident T20 World Cup? No. The clean sweep against Sri Lanka does not give much away. Sri Lanka is a very ordinary side. The T20 World Cup in England, in English conditions, you have an Australia, South Africa, and England. India will find it hard. India is a much better 50-over team than a T20 team, but against the backdrop of the World Cup win, there will be much more interest, much more hope, much more optimism. But if you ask me, are we going to go in as favorites? No, we will not. Australia will go in as favorites, maybe possibly England and South Africa. Will India make the semifinals? I'm extremely hopeful. Can we go beyond that? We've got to wait and see if we are able to win the T20 World Cup as well. I mean, come on, that will be the greatest achievement, could well be in 2026 for any one of us. So we've got to wait and see. Indian supporter, how come Devdutt Padikkal isn't a backup in ODI, seeing his list A record? He has done very, very well. So let's see what the team comes out. How you rate Afghanistan? I've answered that. Will we see Virat and Rohit at the Trailblazers conclave? No, you will not at this point in time. But at some point you will. This particular year, the lineup is finalized, but you will see some top-notch people. Top-notch. And when I say top-notch cricketers, I mean top-notch cricketers at the Trailblazers conclave. Uh, Happy New Year in advance, Boryada, Pratik Jain, to everybody. Pratik, to you, to your family, to everybody, an absolutely stunning, stellar 2026. Peace, health, happiness, and sport all together, my friends. And keep supporting multi-sport, because that's where the difference can be made. Is the Asian Games this year an Olympic qualification? Absolutely. Absolutely will be, for hockey as well. Huh? Did you connect with the GOAT Neeraj Chopra sir recently? Neeraj and I have been in touch off and on right through. Neeraj will make a spectacular comeback in 2026, is what I can absolutely tell you. Off topic, do you feel Sidney McLaughlin has surpassed Fraser Pierre's legacy to be the greatest one? That's a tough question. That's a very tough question. These kind of things, that surpassed legacy, the greatest woman athlete, how does one explain the greatest woman athlete of all time or the greatest male athlete of all time? Because the context is different, the temporality is different, the times are different. So you are talking about the greatest legends of all time. I'm not, so when I compare a Carl Lewis and a Usain Bolt for men, when I compare a Bob Beamon and a Mike Powell, how do I differ? If I go back in time and take a Jesse Owens and a Carl Lewis and a Usain Bolt, how do I compare? How do I compare eras? So that kind of makes it very, very difficult for me. Nepal Games ticket has sold out for the World Cup. Nepal is a fantastic market for cricket. I can tell you this, even for women's cricket, domestic cricket, Nepal is a massive, massive market. Thoughts on Jyoti Yaraji? A lot of stuff has already been written and told by my people. If you should go and read Shojani's piece, a lot of stuff. I mean, in our work group, Abhishek Mishra and people, they have done a lot of stories. We know what the truth is. You know, I don't want to weigh in more. It was disappointing. Let's put it this way: it was disappointing, very, very disappointing. This kind of, and we kind of do disservice by peddling sympathy for our athletes. They don't need it. They don't need it. And our people have done a lot of stories on the Jyoti Yaraji issue. Uh, Covered squash, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I called Joshna. We had a chat as well after the Asia Cup, the Asian Championship win. So Joshna and I, we are very close friends, as many of you might know. Joshna and Saurav and all of them have come to our conclave. And absolutely, Abhay, during the Asian Games, multiple interviews with them, 100% we will cover squash. Why the Eden Garden pitch was rated satisfactory? Why was it rated satisfactory? How do I know? ICC rated it satisfactory because it was better than Melbourne. That's why. So, the Melbourne pitch was worse. And that's why it was rated unsatisfactory. So accept that rating. I mean, why was it rated satisfactory? We need to go and ask the ICC match referee for that. Will you bring Sachin Tendulkar at the Trailblazers conclave at some point? Yes, I was planning to. I had already requested him to come in 2026. There is a family function, is what I've been told. But Sachin 100% will come to Trailblazers at some point. Make no mistake. This year, I'm promising you 12 cricketers. Don't ask me the names yet. We will reveal the names on the 26th of January when it's 50 days to go. And I can tell you, this has been, no conclave in India can match this. I bet your bottom dollar. No conclave in India will remotely come close in terms of the lineup that we have. Okay. Rev Sports, the most crucial series in 26 will be the series India and Australia. No, not really. That's 27, the BGT, and January, February of 27. Not really India, Australia this year. Clear idea whether our team has the capability of bouncing back or not. But that's 27, not really 26. Going to be there at Delhi for either the Indian Open Badminton World Championship, 100% for the World Championship. The Indian Open is clashing with the Tata Mumbai Marathon, and I will have to host the Tata Mumbai Marathon in Mumbai. And thereafter, there's a lot of sponsor commitments leading into the conclave. So I have to do a lot of that. But Abhishek Mishra and Gargi Raut will be in Delhi for the Badminton Indian Open 750. For the World Championship, 17th to the 23rd of August. I will personally be there if I don't go for the Hockey World Cup, because it's the same time. But our teams will be there. I will 99% be there for the Badminton World Championship in August for sure. Okay, we can say that Michael Phelps is the greatest athlete ever, more Olympic medals than many countries, 100%. I mean, and I interviewed Michael Phelps in Rio at the Omega House. It was Michael Phelps and Chad Leclos were both together. It was an unbelievable moment, when Michael Phelps was there. Simone Biles, good shout out, 100%, 100%. But when you see the whole Simone Biles story, and we support mental health and a lot of that, imagine what happened to a Manu Bhaker in Tokyo. We came out and supported Simone Biles. We did not support Manu Bhaker. So keep that in mind when you talk about multi-sport and mental health. Uh, we've done more or less taken all questions. Time for me to. Jyoti herself was promoting. Yeah, I mean, that has been a very sad story, this whole PR exercise. Can we say the Michael Phelps? I've taken more or less every question. Like I said, the most unprecedented sports year 2026. We will be there in more than 25 events on ground, maximum coverage, credible coverage, not returns. I know that 90% of the Olympic sporting events and Paralympic events will not give me numbers, but that doesn't matter. We will be there for men's cricket, women's cricket, and every possible sport. So, once again, wishing you all a fantastic 2026. When you introspect, I look forward as to what I wasn't able to do in 25. I ask myself why I wasn't able to do something in 25, and I will try to get better. I will commit mistakes, but doesn't matter. Sachin Yadav to cross 90-meter mark, fingers crossed, 100%. That's a good prediction from Vas. Lot of good stories coming up in the year to come. So wish you all the very best, folks. Have a great evening. Enjoy and usher in the new year. Be responsible. Enjoy yourself. And we catch up in 2026, which is tomorrow. Thank you very much. Keep your support coming. Thank you very much for watching.